um,
Mhm.
whatever you call it, class. I should be
Resistance training. Yeah.
resistant. All right, so we are going to record this. So we'll be on all fours, cat, cow. So stacked really nicely, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to take a big inhale in, and as we inhale in, we're going to raise our back, drop our heads, a big inhale in. And on the exhale, we're going to lower down so our stomach comes towards the floor, head raises up, glutes kind of go up so you get that nice soft bend in your spine, and then again the opposite direction. So just going at your own pace here. Just remembering to take those breaths along with your movement. Just taking this time to get focused on you, focused on your body. This is your time. Nice break in the day. Not overextending into either position. So you're listening to your body and what feels right for you. Pressing the tops of your feet firmly into the floor, spreading your fingers nice and wide, pressing into the floor with your hands. We'll go one more each direction. And let that go. All right, so the time increments are going to be 50-10. I'm going to do my best to explain what's coming up next in that 10-second rest period. So we're going to start out on our back, on our mat, no weight involved just yet, no resistance band just yet. So we're going to just start out with straight crunches. So our knees are going to be up in that 90, hands resting lightly on the sides of our head. And we're just going to crunch up starting in 5. So really engaging your core, pressing your lower back into the mat. And you're just lifting your chest towards your knees. Eyes can be closed, chin slightly lifted off your chest. Setting your own tempo here. Making sure you're breathing. Chin lifted, chest towards your knees, elbows out wide. Almost there. Okay, we're going to go into lower body rotations next. So arms out in that T, knees stay in that 90. You're going to rotate your knees to the right. Your left palm is going to come up. As you rotate your knees over to the left, your right palm comes up. So these are lower body rotations. Keeping your shoulders pressed into the mat. At any time, if you start feeling your shoulders start to lift, that's your signal to start back with your knees in the opposite direction. If there's any discomfort on your back at all, keep your feet flat on the floor. And you can do your lower body rotations this way here. Okay, next is going to be our alternating V up. So arms are going to stay in that T. Right, left leg comes up, right arm reaches. So opposite leg, opposite toe. You can extend those legs out, keep them off the mat the whole time. That's great. Should have told you to make sure you have plenty of room around you. So alternating V-ups. Head and neck coming up off the floor. Making sure you're taking a nice deep cleansing breath. through this movement. Almost there. All right, we are going to go into toe touches, but that is going to be from that 90. Our toes are going to actually go down towards the floor, alternating. So right toe down, touches, comes back up to that tabletop, left toe down. Keeping your lower back pressed into the mat. So all of this movement is coming from your abdominals. The legs are just along for the ride. Really, even putting your hands on your stomach to feel that engagement. Toe drops down, touches, comes back up to that 90 or that tabletop position. Okay, hug your knees in for a second. We're gonna go into bicycle crunch. So opposite elbow to opposite knee. Opposite leg extends out. Modification is keeping your feet on the floor. Bringing your knee up to that opposite elbow. You're really getting that nice rotation in. Keeping your chest open. I'm gonna turn myself around out of the sun. Keep going with that bicycle crunch. Last 5 seconds. We're gonna grab that heavy weight next. So roll up nice and slow. Grab that weight. We're gonna go up into that supine bridge, heels into the mat, toes to the ceiling. So we're just gonna go down and back up with that weight. Squeezing at the top and back down. Relaxing your head, neck, shoulders. Breathing into this motion. Feet are hip distance. Nice straight line. Okay, we're gonna just do that same thing, except we're gonna have 3 pulses at the top, come back down. For 3, 2, 1, down, right back up. It's a little touchdown, and then right back up for those 3 squeezes at the top. Nice, deep cleansing breaths. Pulling your shoulders down away from your ears. Going at your own pace. Okay, we're gonna go into a sit-up next. So we're gonna keep our weight nice and close to our chest, as close as you can, and sit up, roll back down. So just to sit up, feet are flat on the floor, knees are bent. You can also just crunch with that weight. That's your modification. Not rolling all the way up, just crunching, chin up. Really engaging that core, keeping that weight nice and close. Squeezing your arms to your sides. Yes, keep going. 10 seconds left. Okay, we need a little bit more room now. We're gonna do that full roll up. So overhead, rolling down, weight comes up overhead and all the way up. In, overhead, and up. Really pressing your lower back into the mat, engaging the core. Last 5 seconds. Okay, carefully putting that weight to the side. We're gonna come up to our plank position, hands under shoulders. We're gonna slide that weight to the side, reach, slide it back, reach, slide. So you're in that nice solid plank position, sliding the weight side to side, keeping your arms stacked under your shoulders the best you can. Breathing, trying to keep that body nice and steady, nice flat back. You can grab at the head of the weight or in the middle. Almost there. And knees down, resting. So we're gonna do the same thing, but from the all fours position. So popping your knees up, just hovering over the mat. Same thing. Weight slide, side to side. Staying nice and stacked. Belly button to spine. You got it. Knees staying right above the mat. Ten seconds left. You can always modify knees down. We're trying to hover right over that mat. All right, resting onto your belly, no weight. Going into our Superman. So static hold, first 50 seconds. Arms out straight, reaching, legs lifted. Head up, you're just breathing, lightening the space under your belly button. Core is engaged, shoulders back and down. These are our last 2 ab exercises, and we're gonna go right into some glute work. Just holding, lifting those arms a little higher, get your legs up a little bit higher. 10 seconds left. Chin up, lift higher, and bring it down. Okay, last 50 seconds of ab work. Same thing, but we're gonna pull our arms in and out while our legs are fluttering. So palms facing the floor, sliding in, chest open, arms extending. And we're breathing. Keep those legs up, keep them fluttering. Halfway there. We'll have a little ab stretch after this. And we'll get that resistance band out. 10 seconds to go. All right, let it go. Little rest time. So let's go ahead and push back into child's pose. So knees come out nice and wide. Keeping your elbows lifted. Just taking in some nice deep cleansing breaths here. Fantastic work, you guys. One last big inhale in, exhale out. Go ahead, bring your knees in, grab that resistance band. We're gonna have it around our knees, right above our knees, I should say. Above our knees. And we're gonna come up to standing. Right above the knees. And it's totally fine if you don't have a resistance band. You can do this work without it. Just a little bit of a different feel. So resistance band, feet outside hip distance. Our toes are going to be at a little bit of an angle. Make sure you guys can see me. My feet are the most important things for you to see. And we're going to come down into that really nice deep squat. Weights in the heels. And we're going to come back up, but we're not going to fully extend. So I don't want you coming all the way out of that deep squat. So you're coming down, coming up, almost all the way. Then we're going to come right back down again. So we're starting in 5 with those just the straight deep squat. Down, back up, not letting it all the way out before you come back down. Setting your own tempo here. Your legs are not going to fully extend. Belly button to spine, weighting your heels. We've got 5 exercises and we're going to go back through those same 5 exercises for our second round. 50-10. 10 seconds left. Okay, coming down to your mat on your back, we're going to do glute bridges with an abduction motion. So we're going to come up to a high bridge, heels planted into the mat, toes to the ceiling. You're going to press out 3 times, back in. 1, 2, 3. So you're working the outside corners of the glute. Keeping your hips up nice and high. Breathing. Fantastic work, you guys. Keep it going. Staying up high and bringing it down. Coming onto all 4s, keeping that band around your knees. We're going to come into just our donkey kicks. So 2 on each side. So we're going to go 1, 2, back down. Other side, 1, 2. Heel kicking up to the floor, or to the ceiling rather. Back down. 2 kicks and down. Nice and slow, neutral spine. So your belly button's engaged to your spine the whole time. Range of motion is different for everybody here. Head looking straight forward. The band tends to roll up a little bit. We're almost there. Okay, we're gonna come back onto, keep that band where it is, onto our back. Knees back in that 90 tabletop position, pressing your lower back into the mat. We're gonna pull those knees apart and back in. Apart and in. Pressing your lower back into the mat, pulling those knees apart and coming back in. Legs are in that tabletop position. You're breathing. Really trying to keep those knees in, maybe even a little bit closer towards your stomach. So you're working more of the upper glute. And last one, we're gonna come back down onto all fours. And we're gonna do straight leg. So right leg extend all the way out, 2 kicks straight up, back in. Left leg extend straight out, 2 leg lifts, back in. Keep that going. Hands stacked directly under your shoulders, keeping that nice neutral spine. Again, this range of motion is different for everybody. Knees come right back under hips. This is our last one, and we're gonna come back up to standing. So nice and slow, we're gonna go back into those deep squats. So feet just outside hip distance, coming all the way down and back up, not to full extension. Really squeezing and bringing your attention to that area we're working. Weight in your heels. You're gonna feel this in your legs too, especially not coming up all the way for that full extension. Ten seconds left, really pushing the floor away. Sitting back. All right, back down for those glute bridges. So on your back, on your mat, glute bridges with that abduction. Heels into the mat. So we're gonna go up, 3 pulses out, then we're gonna come back down. Back up, 1, 2, 3, knees in and down, up. Going at your own pace here, your own range of motion. Really squeezing, getting those hips nice and high before you start that motion to the outside resistance using that band. Totally fine if you don't have a band. You're just bringing those knees out 2, 3 times, back down. Okay, over onto all fours. Bent knee, donkey kicks. Stacking, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Starting with that right side. 2 kicks and back down. Other side. Again, keeping that neutral spine so you're not overly arching your back when you're kicking that leg up. Keeping that nice flat back. Everything coming from your seat. Readjusting that band if you need to. Two kicks on either side. Big inhales, big exhales. Almost there. Okay, back onto your back. Knees in that tabletop position. Pulling your knees in even closer than being out here, so you're really targeting that glute, right? And then we're gonna come out and in, out and in. Knees out, knees back in. Keeping those knees over your belly. The farther out your legs work or are, the more you're targeting kind of that outside thigh area, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But the closer you can pull those knees in and then make that motion outward, you're targeting that glute area, glute medius. All right, back onto all fours. Last one, straight leg. I'm gonna reset my timer here, starting in 5. Straight leg, right leg out, 2 pulses up and then back in with the left side. Fantastic work. Bringing that knee right back in underneath the hip, keeping your knees hip distance, leg as straight as possible. "15 seconds to go. And resting. Fantastic work, you guys. We're gonna go into just little cool down stretches. So go ahead and kick that resistance band off, or you can keep it on and go into your child's pose. So going back into that child's pose, knees nice and wide, extending your arms out, taking in some nice big inhales and exhales. And let's walk our hands over to the left. Getting that nice right side body stretch. And your elbows are staying off the mat, really pushing away. And then walking back to center. And then hands over, walking over to the right, getting that nice left side body stretch. Coming back to center one last time. And let's flip over onto our back. And we'll do a pigeon stretch from this position here. So right ankle over left knee, and then reaching around behind your left hamstring, and even using your right elbow into that right knee to open up piriformis, all those hip flexors that just work so hard. And then we'll switch it out, do the same thing, left ankle over left knee, reach around back side of your right leg, gentle pull in as you push against that left knee with your left elbow. Big inhale, big exhale. One more big inhale in and exhale out. Feel free to stay and stretch as long as you can. I'm going to turn your mics back on. Thank you guys so much for joining me.
Thank you.